How's everybody today? I hope you're keeping well on this lovely Saturday. It was actually good enough while it was a bit nippy. But in fairness, it wasn't raining, so that was a plus. It's always a plus. But yeah, we probably won't be live for too long. I probably have to go halfway through. I might stay live for a few minutes, uh, but I might have to go like literally for about 20 minutes or so. So I probably keep the music on maybe and something like that. I don't know. We see how it goes when the time comes. But it's not a bit to be about half to 7 now. And maybe then I might just come back. I might go for 20 minutes and then come back. Maybe. Like I didn't come back last night. I didn't really feel like going back last night. Like we still have to finish Mafia, but it's not really anything else we need to do after that. Good evening, Sean. How are you? Oh. Any crack? No, nothing at all, lad. Nothing at all. No news is good news, is it? They quite literally nothing at all. At all, at all. Let me see. I'm here. Let's see. I don't know if this is nice enough for Christmas. Maybe some other people wouldn't like it. It's kind of hard to know what people would like. Like there was 3 of them there I could have put up, but I said put on this one. Like I have a few on a playlist. So literally, I don't know. It depends what people are. Oh yeah, did you see the files Elon Musk released? Well, journalist. So yeah, very. Let's put it this way: Joe Biden, Joe Biden's in a bit of trouble. Let's put it that way. Like not, I'm looking at OT now, right? Nothing about Joe Biden's emails, nothing at all about it. Like it's funny that it's funny that, isn't it? It's very funny that OT never mentioned it, never thought to mention it. How Twitter, how they kind of made Twitter said so. So not more about it than OT. Isn't that peculiar? You think they were trying to hide something OT, but are they the mainstream media? They wouldn't lie to us, would they? That's what some people would say tonight. Yeah, but Joe Biden's in a bit of trouble. Joe Biden. But anyway, we see what happens. There's supposed to be more released tonight, so should be interesting to see. Let's be fair. Again, if Twitter, this is the thing, if Twitter interfered in the US election in 2020, kind of said so stuff, and kind of whatever the Democratic Party told them to say, and what they told to delete. So take for example the Hunter Biden story. That was breaking before the election, just a few weeks before the 2020 election. And obviously if that was released, the Hunter, and that was true and it was reported on, obviously Joe Biden probably would have lost a good chunk of votes, let's put it that way. And might have not have won the presidency. And again, it depends what Twitter do. The Twitter kind of show more positive news about Joe Biden than they did about Donald Trump, which is obviously true, because it was technically Twitter was very biased for Joe Biden, didn't really, which it shouldn't be the case. It should be a public platform Everybody should have their voice, so that no voice should be bigger than anybody else's voice. In Trudeau's case, they were trying to promote Joe Biden's campaign more than anybody else, basically. And that's not the role of a social media and free speech, obviously. It's for you to make up your mind, not for social media, Twitter, take for example, to push narratives in front of you all the time. A positive narrative, it should be from both sides, But I even remember in 2020, it was all just about Donald Trump was a Russian agent, this, that. And not at all, Joe Biden's the king of kings. He's sent by God to help America. That's basically what was said by the people who were on the front page of Twitter and things like that. And obviously the trending list and all that was altered and all that. So it's obvious. But again, as one person I put a follow on Twitter said, what were they doing in the Irish elections? Because again, the Irish government could go to Twitter now in the morning if they wanted to, because they have the European headquarters and all in Twitter in Dublin, and they don't pay any tax or anything like that. But the Irish government could go and say, look, we don't want this being reported on Twitter or mentioned at all on Twitter. Censor it, get it, tub it down the memory hole. What did the Irish government, because again, they have leverage more than the United States government here, because Twitter's here based in a holiday. The Irish government could be like in the morning, you have to pay your full taxes now, you're not allowed to stay here unless you pay your full taxes. So Twitter would have to kind of obey the Irish government if they wanted to, because again, they're saving billions of euro by being here. If they went to the UK, they'd be taxed to live in hell, and they'd be paying billions in tax to the United Kingdom's government. But it's just because they pay little, very little here. So based on the holiday, basically everything for free. So the Irish government would have more levy than the United States government would, in technically speaking, because the European headquarters is in Ireland. I don't understand make any sense, but there has to be questions asked. If they did interfere with the United States of America's elections, which it's obviously it kind of looks that way, but the files that have been released, it kind of looks that way. They had a role to play. Let's put it that way, because it's there in black and white, really. That they kind of did, what the Biden campaign said to do. They didn't, they kind of took orders from somebody else, basically. So, what did they do for feeding the game and feeding the forward? That's what you have to ask now. Because if they'd done that for one country, they're going to do it for all the countries' governments. Unless they were left-leaning governments, which the Irish government, they would follow them. It'd be different now if it was there. Well, they'll probably follow the China's ban Twitter, isn't it? But, yeah, so other countries' governments, like countries they don't consider are more progressive and stuff like that. But it's interesting to see, like, it's all the documents are there. There's a good about 70 of them, 80 of them, God knows how many. So there's a lot there to look through. So if you get a chance, do look through it. We disappeared for a second. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I was just looking this up and there. Sorry. Nearly every government is left-leaning. Yeah, Italy, that's what I was trying to think of Hungary in it. Like, I'm sure they wouldn't listen to the Hungarian government because they're not really too friendly again, or the Italian government. But whatever about the Irish government? Because again, as I mentioned there, Sean, they're basically here on a holiday in Ireland via Twitter. So basically, they would probably do what the Irish government told them to do. Basically, if they went to say, but even the Bush referendum and things like that, the marriage referendum and things, like God knows what Twitter done. They could have censored a lot of stuff in terms of that stuff. And it has to be asked, we've done that to the United States of America, what did they do here? And what did they do in other countries too? Because it obviously is clear that they interfered in somehow in the 2020 election in America. It's very clear to be seen. It is very clear to be seen. And basically the proof is there right in front of the Biden campaign told them what they didn't want on Twitter and what they didn't want to see. Like the Hunter Biden story, conspiracy theory is called first of all. And then Twitter wouldn't allow you even just to look at it on Twitter. And that obviously altered the 2020 election, let's be fair. That would probably lost. Joe Biden could still have become president, but he would have lost a lot of photos and there would have been questions asked. But it's just the fact that they dumped it down the memory hole, they didn't let people talk about it. Because again, that's what democracy is. You're allowed to talk, you're allowed to question. Particularly people who are going for the highest office in the world. Let's be fair, the President of the United States. You're the leader of the free world, basically. So, it's a lot of things. It's not that they have such an interest, it's a big thing, I'm sure you would agree, Sean. Like, if they influence America's elections, influence the Irish elections, influence other elections, you know yourself. And it's a threat to democracy. It is a threat to democracy, these big tech platforms. If they're willing to censor, because you don't know what they've censored. I'm sure you would agree, as a political advisor, Sean, you would want the truth to come out, the fairness to come out. I'm sure you and your associates will. I wouldn't, to be totally honest with Sean, I would want the truth to come out. To be totally honest. Again, it's up to people of America to decide. I wouldn't really care who won, to be totally honest with you. It's just the fact that it seemed to be misled. People were misled and censored, basically, for a certain opinion, basically. I don't consider whoever the American people wanted, but it's the fact that it wasn't presented to them. Yeah, sorry, Sean, I missed you, Sean. It's two Sean, sorry, Sean Mack. But you remember they said it kind of goes both ways now, Sean. You remember the mainstream media said the most trusted name in news, as you said, trustworthy sources. CNN said it was conspiracy, Russian disinformation. RT said the same. And they have kind of egg on their faces, and Joe Biden said there's nothing behind it, and he said it. So basically, you could go both ways. Trump lied about a few things, I will make that. And Joe Biden has kind of lied about a good bit now, because he kind of was asked about Hunter Biden stories, and he kind of said, there's nothing behind it. But it's plain to be seen now by the leaked documents. It's plain to be seen that the Biden campaign did tell Twitter what to do, basically. It's kind of plain to be seen. So I'm sure Joe Biden knew that. I'm sure they didn't do it without him knowing it. And particularly about the Hunter Biden story, I'm sure he knew what was being leaked and what was found. Because it would have had to come from the very top, and it did come from the very top of Twitter, the trusted safe of the party of Twitter ordered to be set. So, and it's obviously it's emails from the Biden team and things like that. But Donald Trump did lie about a few things. I'm not saying he didn't lie about it. I'm not saying Donald Trump didn't lie about a few things. Again, it works both ways, Sean, I suppose you could say. But I'm sure you would agree, Sean, Doobie. As being a political advisor, you would always want the truth to come out. You wouldn't want people being misled, or being censored. I'm sure you would agree, as a political advisor for a free country. You would agree with me on that statement. People are entitled to know the truth, and again, it's entitled to know what Joe Biden's son is up to. They're entitled to know, because again, he's in public. He's in the highest office in the country, the state of America, and the leader of the free world. The free world which we all depend on. I'm sure you would agree. Nobody's a right-wing conspiracy theorist. No, everybody, people have their opinions, and nobody's an extremist or thing like that. Everybody has their opinion, and they have kind of every right to have their opinion. Sean. I'm sure as a political advisor, you kind of understand it yourself too. Oh, we know that, but his son, and Joe Biden has leads to it, if that makes any sense. Like, it was Joe Biden's campaign that ordered Twitter to censor the story about it. So Joe Biden's campaign ordered Twitter to censor the campaign. Hello, a lot of stuff going on, let's put it that way. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well, Chopper. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. So Joe Biden did have a role to play in this. It's not like it's Hunter Biden, but again, it's the president's son. So, and there's questionable stuff about China and stuff like that. So you do have to question it. You can't just say, oh, it's Hunter's son, it's nothing to do with Joe Biden. It's clear to be seen that Joe Biden's political campaign wanted stuff censored. So it's obviously political interference. It's not like it's Hunter Biden himself said it. It's the Joe Biden's campaign that said it. And it's there on the emails. I don't know if you see the emails, Sean, but yeah. I agree, yeah, there's stuff about that. Yeah, there's stuff, and that needs to be looked into too. But it's the fact that I'm sure you know yourself, Sean, as a political advisor. The mainstream media called it the conspiracy theory right off the top, and they didn't negotiate about it with Donald Trump and things. The way they were every night. CNN, they were like, he's a Russian spy, he's this, he's that, he's the other. They questioned, at least the mainstream media questioned that, but they didn't question, Joe Biden when it first came out. They called it conspiracy theory and they just dismissed it. And OT did the same, and the same when people in buses, they said, oh, Joe Biden's a saint, he wouldn't do a thing like that, And they didn't question it. Nobody questioned it. We basically told you a conspiracy or not job if you ask any questions, And I'm sure you would agree as a political advisor. I would hope you would agree as a political advisor, Sean, in Brussels. I don't know who you're a political advisor to, but I would hope they would agree along with you that people are entitled to question things. Nobody's above question. You say, including myself, everybody can be questioned. But again, when you get to a certain office in the political office, you have to be questioned, because you are the highest office in the land. But yeah, that's a whole different other kettle of fish. I'm just talking about the 2020 because there's a lot to talk about. It doesn't matter who's in what party and what they're not in party. You know about yourself, Sean. They're entitled to hold the political views. Yeah, there's a lot more going to be released tonight. So, I'm just focused on the interference of the election in America. Because as I said earlier on, Chopper, God knows what they did here. Because again, they have the European headquarters in Ireland, Twitter. So what did the Irish government tell them not to allow to be on Twitter? And what did they want on Twitter? Basically, that's the question I have now. Because let's be fair, the Irish government have a clear leverage on Twitter if they have the European headquarters in Ireland. And obviously they basically pay no tax, basically, let's put that in. So they're here on a holiday, rent free. No, I allow people to air their views, Sean. I'm sure you would agree. As you are airing your views here, you're entitled to air your views. I'm not denouncing you, but you're allowed to speak and you lose your voice. As I say there, you mentioned about Eric Trump and things, and I've acknowledged that there's stuff questionable about that too. But obviously that has to be looked into. But yourself, people are entitled. I'm sure you agree, Sean, as a political advisor. I would hope you agree with me in this statement. It's not hate speech. I don't see any hate speech. You see hate speech here. People are just saying about Hunter Biden, which it's not hate speech. It's a public discussion. Basically, it's not like they're saying go and kill Joe Biden. That's taken a bit too far now. But if that's hate speech, I don't know what it is. Just asking a reasonable question about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, as a political advisor, I would hope you, I would love to know who your political advisor to in Belgium. But you have to understand that people are allowed to use their speech. It's different if they were saying I'm going to kill somebody or something like that. That's a bit too far now. You're going a bit too far when you speak like that. Hello, Gas. It's good to see you. He says such things could be. But I'm sure you would agree, it is a public discussion, really, Sean. I don't mean to sound like I'm denying. You're entitled to your opinion, of course. I'm not saying you shouldn't give your opinion. But your opinion does matter. We would like you to contribute, obviously, to it. But I'm sure you agree that people are allowed to their free speech and to say their bit, particularly on this story. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. Because it's basically basically the home of the free, basically America. It's supposed to be the beacon of democracy across the world, and you see this happening. So and it kind of tells a bit about the rest of the world too. But kind of whatever happens in America happens everywhere, basically. If that makes any sense, I don't mean to be denouncing you, Sean, or into that, but you kind of have to see where I'm coming from. I'm just questioning what's coming out and things that, if that makes any sense. Oh, I don't mind who there could be I don't know what. There could be fucking Norma Foley supporters. Norma Foley. But at the end of the day, they're entitled. The people, one time somebody came onto my channel and they said they're supporter of Norma, they voted for Norma Foley and Kerry. And they told me why. They said, I give her a chance. She was a councillor for years in Kerry, I remember this. And I was like, fair enough, at least you said, I give her a chance. And then they said to me, I regret voting for her. And I was like, that's fine, that's fine. Because they're entitled to their opinion. At the end of the day, they're entitled to their opinion. And there's nothing I can say. And obviously they said, they regret voting for now. So, they're entitled to, to air their opinion. I don't see any Nazis. Now, I don't see any Nazis. I don't see, any Nazis in or anything, thankfully. Look at that again. Yeah, but I suppose we're getting off topic a bit. I was talking about the 2020 American elections. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. I'm getting all everywhere. Sorry, but I'm sure you'd agree, Sean. I don't mean to, but I'm sure you would agree. People are allowed to know the truth about what was hidden by them, and I do thank Elon Musk for release the truth. It's good to know the truth, and it's good to confirm the truth. Because people are entitled to know what's going on, basically. And particularly the thing that gets on my nerves is that the media, the establishment, everybody tried to hide it. Yeah, like as I say, Sean, you're entitled to your opinion. Like you could say, she'd be good. You could say an example. Take for example, she's done something in Kerry. She got a road fix or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. You're perfectly entitled, Sean. You know, you're perfectly entitled to air your view. But I would disagree with that. But I would say why I would disagree. You know, because again, that's what democracy is all about. You debate, you discuss, you talk. But as you say, and the one thing I say, Sean, one more thing on this, and then we move on to something else because we'd be here arguing probably all day. Because I just argue all day if I need if I need to. But the thing about democracy is, and particularly in America, Joe Biden should have been asked when he was in the presidential debates, what about Hunter Biden's your son's laptop, and why did you censor stuff? If the mainstream media did cover it, and they did say it was covered and things like that, but you know. I know some people don't like to debate, but that's what democracy is, and we have to accept it really. That's what democracy is. And then we move on. So yeah, you're on for hello, Tony. Sorry, calm down, everybody. Jeez, I can only speak so fast. I can only get so much in one sentence. So calm down. Take a breather. Take a chill pill, everybody, just for 5 seconds, right? Let's calm down. Let's listen to some music just for 2 seconds and just take. I don't know. Listen to some. I don't know. Right, just chill. Everybody calm down. But yeah, so how's everybody's day going? Under another. A bit early, Seamus. Tony, apparently now you're called Seamus, right? You're called Seamus. Seamus. Hey, well, Seamus, how are you doing? Sorry, Tony, my apologies. I don't know why you called Seamus there. That's the first name that came to my head. I was like, what did I say, Seamus? Like, that's when I just too much happening. I don't know, Sean, but at the end of the day, people are allowed to speak. But yeah, but go. What was it? So we move on to something else. Let me think. What else was it? There was something else. What was the other document? There was another document we talked about. So yeah, apparently the old CEO of Twitter, right? The old CEO, Jack Dorsey, didn't know anything about it. He didn't know anything about the censorship on this topic. So, which I don't know is that true or false. I'm sure the head of Twitter would know what's happening in his own company. If that makes any sense. But I don't know. We see what happens. But we do have to look into now. We have to ask Elon Musk about the Irish elections and about just to see what Twitter knows and to get the documents on what they did in the Irish election, particularly in the Bush and other referendums, even presidential elections, so just to see what the Twitter said, so things like that. Because again, at the end of the day, the public are entitled to know what the social media platforms are hiding from people and things like that. If that makes any sense, I'm sure, because the public do have a right to know, Because it is their representatives, like Joe Biden is the president of the United States, and his son is up to that kind of government. So, and as you say, Chopper, about Ukraine too. There's stuff about that too, but I haven't looked through all the data. I only looked through about the 2020 because there's an endless amount of it, and there's probably more tonight. So we come to that kettle of fish tomorrow. However, that when I know a bit more about everything and I see through all the documents, I only look through the 2020 ones and like that because there's a good lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of information, and just trying to decipher all that and trying to organize that into your head and say, look, this is what happened. This is what was going on, etc., etc. But yeah, it's obvious to know that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden did have association with Ukraine before the invasion and things, particularly in a company there. And that's all I say for the moment because I don't have the full information, but it's kind of plain to be seen that they did have something to do with it. But I give them for the moment. I wait until I get more and I speak on that because I don't know too much about it. No idea. But I do know about the 2020 election. But yeah, it's no. But the one thing I say about Elon Musk taking over, at least he released the truth, because we probably would have never knew. Because before that, there was rumors, that it was happening, that this happened. Again, it was rumors, but again, people assumed. But we didn't have proof. Again, you need proof, kind of just to say, it did happen, and we do really have the proof saying it did happen. And that's basically the truth when you have the proof. What else was going to say? Yeah, so that's so that's that. If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. What else is there? But yeah, so yeah, but it's good to see that it is being released now. But so let's see tonight what else has been released. But to be totally honest, I'm more concerned about what the Irish government did. Because again, as I said earlier on, the Irish government have a huge leverage over Twitter, particularly because they're in Ireland and they pay no tax. So the Irish government could go up to them tomorrow if they wanted to, probably, and say, look it, you're here on a holiday basically in Ireland. You pay little to no tax basically. If you don't set this thing, take for example, I don't know, I make up a random fucking Timmy O'Brien or something like that. Timmy O'Brien there down the road there. He's in with the Fine Gael people, and sure look at he apparently robbed the bank there on the main street there in Cavan, and sure look he went in with a gun and a face mask of I don't know, fucking Margaret Thatcher or something like that, and robbed the bank and took out about 3.something million, right? And he went off on his fucking holiday to Spain and fucking laundered the money somewhere. And then Fine Gael found out and they were like, oh no, Twitter, please censor. We can't have this Fine Gael people going robbing banks and going off the street Spain with it and laundering the money. Oh no, God no, we couldn't have that. And so that's just an example. I'm not saying Fine Gael said they were to rob the bank now. I'm not suggesting that now. But it's just an example. Like, did Twitter, if that did happen, like, take yourself, if it did happen, just hypothetically, not saying that the Fine Gael don't come after me yet, that Twitter didn't censor it, like, let's be fair, because if it was in the, like, say the public knew about it or whatever, it wouldn't, well, that's true, but again, it's hypothetically, just speaking, did Twitter say, look, dump this down the memory hole because it wouldn't look good, say if the election was 2 days away from it, and he wanted to get a few extra bucks for his campaign, right? It's just absurd. But it could happen, you never know, it could happen. But say Twitter was like censored to throw it away because people might not vote for him. No, good luck, stop him. Like something like that could happen. Just like I know randomly, just that's the most random fucking thing you can make up. But it's a suggestion. I better not give them ideas because they actually could rob the bank. Please, Fine Gael senators, please do not rob the banks, please. Particularly Cavan banks, we need our money. It would be very appreciated. Hello, Leanne. How are you doing? What, Paul? There's a lot going on tonight, so lots happening. But yeah, I hope you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Because it's I do find hard to believe that it just happened in one country. That it's happened in every country. Because at the end of the day, the government have the power to say, what can be released and what can be said and what can be done. And same basically Ireland more than any other country because, RTE is basically state-run media, basically speaking. And you basically won't see anything about Hunter Biden's laptop on RTE tonight. It's whatever the government wants you to know, basically. Which shouldn't be the case, the media should be independent as much as humanly possible. So, Who am I talking to? I'm basically just you seem to be having upset. No, I'm just talking, like, it is news, Sean, it's the news they're having, I'm just talking about it. It's not that I'm obsessed about it, I could talk about other things. It's just that it's the main news, it's the main thing that I'm concerned about, because I'm concerned about the dealings of Hunter Biden. I'm concerned about what Ireland, basically what happened. What's happening basically in Ireland. The Irish government set this up. And so you see where I'm going. So I'm taking that and going from that on to the Irish thing, because it kind of affects Ireland in a way, the Hunter Biden story too, because it affects, if it happens, as one person said, if it happens in America, it happens everywhere. Simple as that, because America is such a dominating power, as basically the beacon of democracy around the world, the home of the free, etc., 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 the land of the brave, the home of the free. You know, it's going to affect every country. It is going to affect every country. So it is crucial, kind of. I'm not just obsessing over it. I'm just saying. If you even heard me there a while ago, I was talking about the Irish elections and stuff like that. So that's what I'm talking about. What else was there? So yeah. So what else? There was other thing. There was another thing I was going to talk about. I can't remember. What else was there? Can't remember. There was something else I was going to talk about. I can't remember now. What was it? Oh, Father Brian would be dangerous. Oh yeah, but Navan Hospital. Yeah, I meant to mention that. Yeah, Navan Hospital. So the confuckery that's happening there. So basically, they're saying people with major symptoms. Basically, probably would close accident emergency in Navan. They might not close the whole hospital. Basically, you have to go to Drogheda though now if you're dying. Basically, isn't that nice? So if you're on the other side of County Meath, you have to go to Drogheda. So it's the same here in Cavan, Monaghan. People who have to go to, up there in Monaghan, it's only for appointments, basically. There's no accident emergency. They close the accident emergency in Monaghan. So people have to come down to Cavan to accident emergency. So basically, many people probably have died because they waited for a long time to get an ambulance, first of all, to get an ambulance to the house if they're taken heart attack, God forbid. And they had to come down to A&E in Cavan. So why? It doesn't make any sense, and particularly because there's so many people on waiting lists and trolleys, and it doesn't make. You think they would want more spaces in the hospital than less. So Anyway, here, lads, let's just pretend. Let's try and be nice to people. Okay. Let's try and turn a new leaf over and try and have a proper discussion. About things. There's no need to be going around threatening people. Okay, fair enough. Is that okay? 'Cause, again, you might not like the person's opinion, but you're entitled to their other opinion. So let's try and be nice to each other, especially around Christmas time too. We don't want to have to be arguing with each other. It's nice, it's a nice time of year. Let's not try and ruin it for people. Okay, that's all I ask. Just try and be reasonable. Let's be fair. That's all I said. But don't be threatening anyway, please. Oh wait, no, but let's just try and move on. Let's try and be nice to each other. It's Christmas after all. It's near Christmas, so please, be nice. It's the time for being good, and it's the time for being nice to people. So, think about that. And that's the main point of it. It's about being nice and being good to people. So please do. Just that's all I ask. Okay. What's this? But yeah, we're tending there. We're turning a new leaf over. I'm not saying, but if you want to go to the girls' bed or anything like that, you're perfectly entitled to. But we're just turning a leaf. Do you use a weird? I do actually. We do. Well, it's not weird. We used to actually. No, so we have an artificial one. I'm thinking back in the day. Back in the day, we used to use a real one. But nowadays we just use an artificial one. Because I find the weird Christmas trees when we used to have it. So. Are you talking to me, Leah? No, I'm not saying we're just throwing a leaf over. We forget that anything ever happened, and that's it. That's what we're doing. No, I didn't say that. You kept putting words in my mouth. Let's be fair. Let's just turn a leaf over, and let's pretend it didn't happen, and let's just make up and let's get over. Basically just pretend it never happened. Basically, okay. Like physical threats, obviously, you shouldn't be tolerated. Simple as that. But I'm just giving people a choice, just to behave a bit, please. That's all I ask. Yeah, but let's please just be reasonable, people. Come on, let's just be reasonable. Because as I say, it's Christmas time, so let's just try and be nice, okay? Because it shouldn't be resultant in threats. People are entitled to their opinion. You know, people are entitled to their opinion. Simple as that. We can't really say, you can't, people can argue and things like that, but let's just move on. Let's move on. We'll talk about something else. But anyway, what was talking about? We're talking about the lady at Lord's Hospital and Navan and stuff like that. Like it's a joke, really. It's a joke. And then the next breath they say Stephen Donnelly and they'll be saying the HSE is backlogged, all right. And let's close half of the hospital down in Navan and let's make people go to another county to see medical attention. That's a great idea. That's like you have to think about that for a second. It doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't make any logical sense. Do you think it makes logical sense? Because I don't think it makes any logical sense. Like imagine that you're literally dying. You're waiting for an ambulance, and they bring you to another county. They have to drive you to another county to seek medical attention. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense. Like it honestly doesn't. So just 1 second. Anyway, sorry, I'm back. I hope I hit the chat for a second. Sorry, I went to press live chat. Sorry. So yeah, sorry. I'm just having a pizza here. So, well, it has nothing to do with me, Sean. It's nothing to do with me. But I just say, it's nothing to do with me. I can't police everything. But I will say to Leon, just apologise, and that's simple enough. Is that all? That's all I ask, okay? That's all I say, Sean. But you're entitled to go to the Gallows if you wish to go. But at the end of the day, it's not up to me. Like I've been threatened many times that I never went to the Gallows about it. So, it's kind of a give or take on the internet. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't take it seriously or anything, but but I think you should just be friendly with each other. Anyway, I haven't my meal anyway. I never got into the eat. Like literally, this morning at around 8 o'clock, I got my breakfast, and since then I haven't got into the eat. So I'm only getting around to having something to eat now. So literally all day I've been out, and I haven't got into the eat. So forgive me if I'm having my meal now, because I am a bit hungry now. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been out and about all day today. So you know yourself. Who's listening? Who is this? Oh, it's about this yoke. Okay. Sorry, it's about a message with someone else. I don't know, I have my pizza. Would anybody else like pepperoni? Anybody else like pepperoni? Like, I'm sure people want the cheese pizzas and stuff like that. Apologies if anybody. Not a fan of pizza. Not a fan. This is very fancy, Sean. No, I just have pizza now and again. And I wouldn't be the biggest fan myself, but I have now and again. Not often, but now and again. It's quite popular, yeah. Pizza would be quite popular. Like, I wouldn't be the biggest fan now. I would have it now and again. Like, I wouldn't have it every day of the week, if that makes any sense. Sorry, give me a sec. But I don't think there's any need. I think people, we have to try and calm down a bit. I know politics can be a very divisive thing and things like that, but let's try and build a bridge, because it is Christmas now. It's the time for forgiveness. It's the time for, it's the time for forgiveness. Let's show forgiveness and let's try and be Christian and let's try and be good. And that's what Christmas is all about. So let's try and build a bridge over it and forget about it and move on. Because again, in life we have to try and build bridges to move on life. Because again, as I say, Sean, I was threatened many times before. So I was threatened one time in Portland, but I did nothing about it. Which I look at. As I say, sometimes people just do things in the heat of the moment. But as I say to you, Sean, if you wish to go to the gods, it's your choice. It's up to you. Yeah, we have our Christmas lights up. Yes, indeed. Because at the end of the day, it's not. If somebody threatens you, it's up to the gals to deal with. It's not up to to me. To be totally honest. Oh, I know, but I know, but I just say Christmas because I was always brought up to say Christmas. I know some people might, but again, you have to be inclusive. I know that word's always used multiple times, but you have to. I just use Christmas. I know it can be offensive to some people, but at the end of the day, it's the one I celebrate, and I'm allowed to express it. If that makes any sense. Oh, I know, but I'm allowed to express it. As I say, Sean, you have your entitled to your freedom of speech. It's not like you're using a bad slow or something like that. But you're entitled to, like I say, Happy Christmas and things like that. You're entitled to that. I know what you're saying. I know for some other people, yeah, I agree with you on that, but you can't just change how you speak and things like that. Obviously some things are offensive to some people and stuff like that. But saying that is not. And yeah, I understand, but the vast majority of people celebrate Christmas. The vast majority of people I know people who are other religion too, but they wouldn't pass any remarks. Like, take for example, I know a man there. He's a different religion. I can't remember what religion he is, but I think it's Jehovah's Witness or something like that. But they don't celebrate. I don't think they celebrate Christmas. So he wouldn't mind if I came across him now and I said Happy Christmas. He'd just say Happy Christmas back. He wouldn't give it a second thought. Basically, he wouldn't be too bothered about it. But it's about witty too. Christmas is nice. It's a nice feeling, and I suppose it's good to be wished a happy Christmas, even though you don't celebrate it. It's nice to be wished a happy Christmas, even though you don't celebrate it or something. It's nice to be included and to be spoken to, even just to be spoken to. I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. I don't think I'm saying you shouldn't. But if you wish to do that, that's again, it's entirely up to you. It's your opinion. It's your opinion, and you're right to hold that opinion. Oh, now, Sean, that's a bit harsh now. He's entitled to hold his opinion. He's entitled to express his opinion. We can't just shut him down and say, he's not allowed to share it. If that makes any sense. I think it's good to discuss things. It is good to discuss things. But I'm saying I would rather stick with the Happy Christmas. That's my view on it. And Sean Duffy might have a different view. Sean Mack might have a different view. But again, that's democracy. People can share their views. We can talk about it. We can debate it. But that's what democracy is. And we have to talk about things. Again, that's how we get things sorted and talk about things. Because if we didn't talk, we wouldn't be human. Let's be fair, because that's what the humans are about. We talk about things. If we didn't talk, there would be nothing to do. It would be a very sad life. I'm sure you would agree. Apologies, sorry. In what way? No, I know, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to take a stats here now. Let's. If any more threats are to that, maybe we're just going to ban the posting. Okay. Is that fair enough? That fair enough, everybody. So we mark a line under this. Right. If anybody else does it, as simple as that, you're going to be banned. As simple as that. And I hate to say it, but that's the line. There's a line now in the sand, and if anybody else, before that, we might just say, you're set in the heat at the moment. But that's all it's going to be said. Okay, is that okay from here now? So before that, we forget about it, we pretend it never happened, and if you make it from here on, we just ban you. Okay. I think that's fair. Like you had your chance there. We're gonna in the momentum of Christmas, we'll just say we'll give you a pardon for that last offense. But if you do from now, okay. That's in general to everybody. Okay, so everybody just be nice, okay? I don't want to have to be negative all the time, so please. That's all I ask people. That's all I ask. Like I don't want to be banning people and people entitled to speak, like, okay? But threats are not acceptable, and I'm sure you agree. But I don't want to be policing what people say all the time too. But that's fair enough. I think that's reasonable enough. I know before I might not have reacted in the best way or anything to it. I should probably reacted more to it and done something more. But that's fair. I think that's reasonable enough. From here on, it won't be acceptable. Beforehand, we pretend it never happened. It was the heat of the moment. It was just a thing that somebody said, and that's all. That's all it is. Okay, that's okay. Everybody agrees with me on that. Okay, that's fair enough. I think that's the most reasonable thing. So let's try and be reasonable tonight. Because Christmas is only a few weeks away, and let's try and be good. I might play a game. It depends. I might not. It depends. I might play the Mafia. I might continue Mafia. But anyway, any other fun? Anybody planning anything fun for tomorrow or anything? Oh, the other question. Sorry, I'm speaking with mouthful. What was I going to say? Everybody have the Christmas shopping on. What way you not putting my money? No, I'd rather just have the pepperoni. It's just a preference. I know some people have a huge amount of toppings. I know one person that works in the takeaway, and he says that literally the orders you get sometimes, literally everything they want on it. Like they want pepperoni, they want this, they want that. Like they nearly watch your mother on it, to be totally honest with it. Like, let's be fair, they literally would ask for everything on it. Like one time one person was asking for brown sauce, red sauce on it, scattered all over it. Like, let's be fair. It's only a pizza. It's not like it's, last minute shopping, yeah. I'm only gonna, I have a few boxes of biscuits and stuff to buy for friends and stuff like that. But I get that done soon. I'll probably get it done next week. And a few selection boxes and stuff for people. We'll probably do our Christmas stream probably next week. What date are we on next week? What was it? Yeah, we do next week, probably next Friday or so. I think it'll be time enough. It's only going to be small now. It's not going to be a huge thing, but it'd be a few bar. It'd be about 150 of them. We'll probably give out 350s or something like that, and I buy makeup. And we walk from there. So yeah, and we do a Christmas. I don't have a Saturday dress, so a dress, not a dress. Sorry, Saturday's uniform, a dress. What? Fair enough. I don't know why I said my mind's all scattered a bit. So. So yes, what am I looking at here? Sorry. So anybody watching any good Christmas films on? Any good Christmas films on, by the way? Anybody watching like Home Alone or something? I was watching actually a bit of Home Alone the other night. Even though I've seen it for the... Oh, sorry, I'm speaking from my phone. Even though I've seen it about 100 times, like even though I've seen it 100 times, I still watch it now. Yeah, if that makes any sense. I'm politically neutral, Sean. Apologies, I had my mouth full there, Adam. I hate having to speak with my mouth full. A lot of stuff. Let's put that in. What is Calvin unlikely to do shopping? What am I likely to do shopping? I've been that in the years. Oh, what shops you asking? Well, you have your Duns, you obviously have your Tesco, you have your Aldi, you have your Lidl, all that course. Like Argos, you have Clark's the Calvin, things like that. Connolly Brothers there too, Calvin, which has been there for donkey's years. You have many other shops, like there's loads of clothes shops, there's loads of other shops. Yeah, there's like, I put this Boots, this what do you call it? The game shop, second-hand games, what do you call that? That's there. So yeah, there's a lot of shops. You have a lot of options. I know it's not as big as probably Navan or something like that. Hello, Sean. Hello, Adam. Sean. I keep getting everybody's. I called Tony Seamus earlier on, and Tony's probably like he's lost it. I don't know why I said Seamus. I don't know why it was. Something was in my head about Seamus. Some Seamus fan. I don't know why. I think there was a Seamus on my channel one stage back in the day. So, but that's a good while ago. I remember replying to him in the comments one time. Um, 109 million things, have that, Adam. Oh, did I tell you the things came from me too? Anyway, the things I got on my phone. So. Also, I actually have a story to tell you. Sorry, bear with me a second. So Thursday, it was Thursday. I was talking to somebody from Ogle of Fianna Fáil, and I was offered before from them. They said to me, "Would you join Fianna Fáil? We're looking for a councillor." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You're coming to me about becoming a councillor?" Like that, the offer, they actually were probably serious at the offer, because they actually asked me before about it. But see, my great grandmother was in Cunnamull. She was in Cunnamull, hiding people that were running away from the OIC and the Black and Tans and all that. So she was hiding people from that. So and she would have had, back in that time, Eamon De Valera's time, she would have had a good bit of Fianna Fáil resettlement. They were not resettlement, but and admiration for Fianna Fáil. During the Fianna Fáil, yeah. Well, I think they're that desperate now. They want me to join it. I will say this: Into have asked me a few times. I haven't said no, but I have thought about it. But I have kind of left it open. It's like a DM. I left it open, half open, or something like that. I've read it, but I didn't respond. So I've left them open just to see. I think about it in the future, but I'd rather stay relatively neutral, like in the middle. Not really had. I have my leanings, of course. Excuse me, my apologies. But it was quite funny, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, because as I say, my great grandmother was a very good woman, and she hided a lot of people who was brought up by the OIC, Black and Tans, hiding them in the house, hiding guns in the house and stuff like that. She's quite a remarkable woman, as I say. Yeah, she was quite a remarkable woman, but she would have been Fianna Fáil. She would have been probably Fianna Fáil. Like, here's the thing. Just bear with me, Sean. I respond to you just in a second. I just respond to Adam for a second. Here's the thing. When the Irish Civil War happened, right? And basically, well, in some regards, into a left, yeah. In some regards, with some of the politics will be middle, But we see what happens, and we see in the future. Maybe we think about it. Again, as I say, leave it open. But utterly, I don't think Fianna Fáil, like, regardless of what. Even though my great grandmother probably would say, go into Fianna Fáil and try and make it better, try and make it to the top, and try and make Fianna Fáil a better party than it is now. But I don't know. I think she could be long past if she's seen how Fianna Fáil is nowadays. I think she'd be turning a grave that she even voted for them back years ago. Like even Neil Smith's great grand, he was a TD. She probably would have voted for him and voted for all the. Like, she would have been that type of person, would have always voted Fianna Fáil back then. But Fianna Fáil back she lives up into the 60s. She would have been always. She would have been always pro Fianna Fáil. Because the reason why after the Irish Civil War, sorry, I didn't explain myself properly. But after the Irish Civil War, obviously the country was very divided, and obviously she probably knew people who was on the anti-treaty side. She didn't talk about that much, particularly the Irish Civil War, because I think she always kind of, even though nobody fought, like her family wasn't broken or anything, but I think she always kind of, because brother was fighting brother, sister was fighting sister, and it kind of always was that thing in her heart that probably. She was always very upset about it. She never talked about that more. They never talked about the Irish Civil War. She always talked about the War of Independence, and she remembered the 1916 rise and remember hearing about it. So she would after the Civil War, the Irish Free State was born and all that, and she basically. In terms of, but in the grand scheme of things, they've done a lot of harm. In other words, in the grand scheme of things, but I wouldn't be supportive of the Irish Parliamentary Party. No, I wouldn't be supportive of it. I'm sure you would agree. As my great grandmother would say, she risked life and limb. She obviously, what the Black and Tans would have done to her. They would have raped her. They would have done everything to her. They would have burned her house to the ground. God knows what. They could well after all her family and killed all her family. And she took a queer risk. She took a queer. The OIC could have went in and killed her. She took a queer risk. Like, I know the waiver, you could agree on that, but I'm sure you would agree, Sean. Your grandmother, I don't know, your grandmother might have been in Cullimore too. But I'm sure you agree. She was a remarkable woman because she knew the risks. She wasn't going to be in the court when the OIC and the Black and Tans would have just killed her and whipped her, and they've done almighty things though. And putting herself. And again, some of these people are very, very wanted people. People who wanted for the OIC. One of them, I think, even was wanted for attempted murder of an OIC officer. So, people who high up wanted by the Crown, and she hiding them in their houses and things like that. Your father was in the OI constabulary. So you were probably left after, because a lot of Royal Irish Constabulary, and she even talked about this when she was on her dying days. She said a lot of OIC left, just before the Irish War of Independence, particularly coming near the end of the Irish War of Independence. A lot of them refused because of what was happening. A lot of them too in Cavan refused. Like a lot of OIC people refused to stay and just resigned and left. So the way they couldn't keep governance too, because the OIC, nobody would join the OIC. But yeah, I'm sure you would agree. Like you think about that being she was a very young woman at the time. She was 23 or 24. And think about that, Sean. Think about that, Sean, for a second. Think about that tonight in your bed. Think about that, like that woman with life and limb to, make one day hopefully the island could be free. And that's all she hoped for. I think that one day we could say what we wanted, we could govern what we wanted, we could do our own thing. We wouldn't have to answer to somebody in Westminster. And thankfully, with that dream came true, and she was very happy now. In her dying days, she was very pleased that her sacrifice, I suppose, wasn't in vain, and that there was a republic. So that she was happy that it came from something. So she was pleased with that. And she was pleased during the 1950s too to go up to Dublin to the GPO, the commemoration. So she was pleased to see that that Ireland is a free state, but not now. But back in the day, So she was I'm sure she would be still happy in her grave that her sacrifice. She didn't die in June, obviously, but at any stage, I see the Black and Tans could have went in to kill her. She probably always had that in her head. Like I think my grandmother said that she had a gun in her underneath her bed at any point to take it up and shoot them if they came in, because she was hiding guns for them and ammunition for the IOA, and she was hiding guns and stuff like that. They left guns in the house and things up in the attic, and she had she had a pistol with her at all times, because I don't think she would have given up. I think she would have fought. But I'm sure she probably would, if she was alive now, she probably would say to me, go to Fianna Fáil, try and make it the party it was back in the 50s and 60s. But I think it's long past that, unfortunately. No, I would be in favour. As I say that, my great grandmother fought very hard for this country to remain free, and by hell, I wouldn't let any other country come in here and take it. Either by military force or folks, that's totally honest, because we fought, and again, the men in 1916. I'm sure you would agree, Sean. If they went out, they give up everything. They met a firing squad. They did everything for us to be sitting here at the moment, to have a flag flying behind me. Done everything to make sure this country someday might be free. And people like Michael Collins and the people who fought for the war for that, we were just literally throwing their lives down the drain and saying they don't matter. And I don't think that's what we should do, because we need men like that now, people who are willing to stand up, people who are willing to give everything, for their dream, for the hope that someday people on this island might be free and would not have to be governed by another country. And we shouldn't just throw that away. All that struggle, all that sacrifice. I don't think it could be done. That you could just in an instant say, fuck them. We can, they're dead. They're heroes. Like, let's be fair, they're heroes. Yeah, it's a Fianna Fáil, Fianna Gael who to blame. Like as I say, there used to be more railway lines and they closed them down in the 50s and 60s. But they did, I will say the British did have a very extensive railway network, but the things they done during the famine and different things. But I would totally answer that, regardless of who it is, what other country comes in, I intend to fight if they do come into this country to keep this country free. Because I think I owe it to my grandmother to, I owe it to my grandmother too. We'll be better off with Prime Minister. Of Ireland, you mean? Like, obviously he's in Britain, but I'm speaking whoever's Prime Minister of Ireland, Prime Minister of Ireland. That's in England. But I don't know much about Rishi Sunak. I'd never hear about him on the news. We compared to Liz Truss and things like that. I say he's good with the finances now. I will give him that. I say he's good with the finances and obviously being in chat, etc. and things like that. But to be totally honest, I don't know enough about him. To be totally honest, I don't know anything. I know he's Prime Minister. I know he was Chancellor of his check, but I don't ever hear much about him. So to be totally honest. But definitely no. Speaking, and I'm sure you would agree, Sean. Like even being the political advisor, you're from Ireland. I'm sure your father, like as you say, your father probably was signed from the OIC just before the War of Independence. Not really. The Irish have a unique identity of the Irish language, the Irish culture. It's very, very different. Britain has its own culture, but we have our Gaelic, we have an Irish language, we have our Gaelic football, we have different, we're an entirely different culture. We might speak the same English now and things like that, but we have a whole history behind us, and we can't just say throw in the. I'm sure you would agree, Sean. Like you shouldn't be really working as a political advisor if you say a country should throw its independence away at a moment's notice. It was hard fought for. I'm sure, and I hate to just say that, but it was really, really hard fought for. But I think my grandmother would say, my God, man, the sacrifice that I made and put myself through, and people that she knew, the sacrifice they did, it would compare, like literally none of us have ever done it in our lives. Going out and facing a mighty army, the mightiest country in the world. Like I'm sure you would, like even a woman at 24, hiding guns, hiding people who were wanted by the OIC, the Black and Tans, people who were higher up in the British that they wanted to get, and hiding them in their house. And at any moment the Black and Tans could have come in and raped her, or God knows what they could have done. And again, the whole what she did and what other women like her own Conmemon did, we shouldn't forget. And the people who give up their lives that this country might be free, that might one day, someday, we might have our independence and we might be free, and we might be free to govern ourselves, and not have to answer to anybody else. And I think that's what that memory alone is worth fighting for, and that's what I intend to do if any country ever came to this land. I think it owed to my great grandmother to continue to make sure the state remains under the government of Irish people and under the Irish alone. Like it's worrying now, Sean. I'm not gonna lie to you, that you just say throw that away. It'd be totally honest. I hate to say it. I know you're entitled to the opinion and all that, but you have to understand the sacrifice. I'm sure you would agree the sacrifice these men and women did, and particularly in 1916, they went out and they met a firing squad. Like think about that. The dreams they had, the hopes they had that someday, that for them, they knew they probably would face the firing squad for treason. But they hope someday, as we speak now, they hope one day, someday, that their sacrifice might hope that a future generation might be free. And that's where we are at the moment. Thankfully we're semi-free, but that we live in a state that has a flag, that has its own national army, that has its own parliament. They could only hope that dream could come true. So I'm sure you would agree. Oh, I would if an invader came onto these shores. It was illegal, they had no. But it's not the point. So you're basically saying the founders of the state, but they fought for the country's independence. So you're basically saying, basically, Sean, I'm asking you. So you say their life was in vain, going out and killing. So basically, they stood up against tyranny, and you're saying they shouldn't have done it. I don't know really. I don't know what to say about that, but so if you seen oppression, you wouldn't stand up. Oh, I know, but the vast majority of people, like as I say, so you say my grandmother, so you say that to my grandmother, my granny was alive. She honestly would turn in her grave, Sean. She honestly would, I might be totally honest with you. Because her great grandmother, she wouldn't have been alive, and she would turn in her grave because she remembers what her grandmother said. It was illegal, but I never seen the likes, not gonna lie to you, Sean. I think you should really reflect. I have to be honest with you on your statements there. And if you're a advisor to an Irish MP, I have to get on with them about this, because let's be fair. But you know what I'm saying. Like, if my grandmother and she heard you say that, she's spinning her grave. I might as well tell you. And you saying that that my great grandmother. But I'm just saying, it adds to my question I'm asking you. That you're saying that my great grandmother died and basically put her life at risk in vain, hiding people. So yeah, but I'm asking you a simple question, because I could phone up some of my relatives and they wouldn't be too happy with you, because they'd be saying, what did you stand up against tyranny? Did you stand up and say no more? Because I'm not too pleased with that statement. I would not gonna lie to you. Because again, I don't think you understand the sacrifice that young woman did when she was young, 24. Oh, you have your right to opinion, yeah, but I'm just saying, acknowledge the sacrifice that woman did. My great grandmother did. She was 24. At any moment, the Black and Tans could have come in and raped her, and killed her. So please acknowledge. I just want an acknowledgement of that. I know you're entitled to opinion, but I would really suggest that you do reflect on it, because every Irish person should hold a great admiration for these people. And I know we said you can question things, but I don't think you would know the sacrifice them men did, and I'm sure you would agree. Like, I don't think you would probably go out in the morning with a gun and say freedom, And that's what people in China are doing too. So you're saying the people of China are illegal too, basically. But yeah, just acknowledge that. I just want an acknowledgement that my great grandmother, who put herself in a very big danger, and I wouldn't be here probably today if she was raped and killed by the Black and Tans. So it's a very simple thing, John. I just want an acknowledgement that woman was very brave. That's all I'm asking. Just for my grandmother that's lying in the grave, my grandmother, she'd be very, very sad. No, she honestly would be very sad of you saying that whole life, was in vain. Like, that's all I'm asking, because she'd be looking down from heaven now, and she'd be saying this. My mother died for this. My mother went out and put her life at the risk for this. But anyway, I know what you're saying, that no man did, but it's not the fact. See the republic that they bought. After the 1916 Rising, people were saying, we want a republic. We want a free state. We want to be free. And the only way we're going to see things that was through armed rebellion. But yeah, just acknowledge that. I don't want any other questions for the moment, John, until you acknowledge the point. I'm afraid for hope. Yeah, but acknowledge my great grandmother, because again, my grandmother's up there, and she's looking down on us now, and she's saying to Sean, I don't think you understand the sacrifice she made. As a woman at 24. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because it's on her name that I'm asking you to say. It's not for me. It's for her. It's up there in heaven, looking down, and say, because again, this woman put her life at risk, and I don't think you understand that. Because I'm sure she was very proud that she done her bit to free this country. And I think she deserves a small bit of respect. And I know you keep saying about respect and all that, but I think we should just acknowledge that for a second. I know you didn't know, but again, I'm sure you know by what I said there about her hiding people in the house, risking their life between the Black and Tans and things like that. She could have been raped, she could have been murdered. We could have had her house on fire. I wouldn't be here at the moment. We have to tell the truth. My grandmother wouldn't have been born. Let's be fair. It's only being fair, Sean. That's all I'm asking. It's not for me. It's for the people who are above. My great grandmother, my grandmother. That's who I'm asking for. The people who are looking down on us now. Think about that. It's not for me. It's the people who sacrificed. That's all I ask. It's a simple thing. I respect your. I think it was your father, one of your ancestors in the OSC. I have to say, he probably resigned from the OSC, but I have to say, he probably, I don't think he was involved in anything or that. But I have to say, he probably done his duty, and that's all I can say. But that's all I ask. That's all I ask. One thing. That's all I ask. Because I would say to you, if we were having an insurrection in the morning, I know that's what. I know, but can you answer the question, Sean? Like, you're dilly-dallying around and not answering the question. Are you going to acknowledge it or you're not? That's as simple as that. Like, that's all I wanted, because she'd be watching upstairs, and you're probably not. Like, you have to remember when you get to them gates upstairs, what's going to happen. Because these people were very brave people. That's all I want to know. Like, do you think she basically put herself in risk for nothing? You know, it's a very reasonable thing to ask. Because I don't think, to be totally honest, I don't think I would have the courage to do what she did. And I hesitate straight. It took a lot of courage. I know we never met, but what I just said to you, do you think that was brave, or do you think it was selfish, or what do you think it was? That's what I'm asking. That's the question. It's not that I'm saying you didn't know because she died in the 1960s, obviously. But I'm asking you, can you understand the question, or do you want me to repeat it multiple times to you? It's just saying, do you respect? Because again, she's looking down on you. Remember that, Sean? She's looking down on you. And she's typed for today that this country is semi-free. And it's people like her that made this country free. And if you're an MP, if you're an advisor to a political MP for Ireland, you wouldn't have a job, to be totally honest. I'm assuming you're an MP, you're a political advisor for an MP for Ireland. I'm assuming. Maybe you're not, but that's just an assumption. That's just an assumption, as we said the other night. But that's all. Just acknowledge. If you refuse to acknowledge, and that's okay. I move on. Oh, I'm not being very hostile. I'm just asking you a question. I'm looking for an answer. Like, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I'm not being very hostile, Sean. I'm just asking the question. That's all I'm asking. If you say you don't want that, so then I take it. I take it. If you just say I do not want that, so I move on. Simple as that. I move on. So if you say that in the next sentence, I move on. I won't mention it again. How about that? Like, I'm just looking for like if you become a journalist now in the morning, you can't just say to a politician, you things like that. Like, I think I'm being reasonable. Like, I'm just looking for an answer, yes or no. If you don't want that answer, just say you don't want that answer, and move on. We talk about the weather or something. Like, I'm giving you an option here just to say, I don't want that answer. That's fair enough. And I'd be like, that's fair. But it's the same if you became a journalist in the morning. You have to keep finding it. You have to look for the truth. You have to look for the answers. And again, I'm just asking, Sean. Again, as you ask me questions, I'm just asking you just to give me the courtesy to answer one of my questions. Oh, I know, but so I take it. So I just need a yes or no. You don't want that sort. I know, but you can ask questions. Again, you're entitled to ask questions. You ask me questions. I'm entitled to ask questions too. Same as that's what, again, if I wanted to become a journalist in the morning, that's what I have to get used to. Take for example. So just say I do not want to answer the question. Is that okay? Just say that, and I'll be happy enough, and that'll be it, and we forget about it. Okay? Like, I think that's reasonable enough. I'm just saying, if you give me that statement, I'm happy enough, and that'll be it. I think that's reasonable. Like, you can obviously, you can say I want that, or you can say I don't want that. So you basically have two options here. Or you can say I just want to remain neutral or something like that. But I have to say, Vincent Brown, if Vincent Brown was he would answer a conclusion. So yeah, but okay, that's kind of very vague. We need to know the details of your mother's background upon a conclusion. So yeah, I give you a bit of the details. So she was 24 when the War of Independence started and all. She was I don't know what age. She must have been young when the 1916 Rising started. But basically, put it straight, she was single at the time. She was single. She had a house there. She wasn't married. She only got married a few months after the Irish, a few months after the Irish Civil War, in about 1920, beginning of 1923. I think it was January 1923. She got married, and she had my grandmother. Basically, my grandmother. I think it was just before the Second World War. I think it was 1937, 1936, something like that. So yeah, and during the War of Independence, during them few months, that year basically, she hid guns, she hid people running away from the OIC, the Black and Tans, hiding them in the house, putting them up in the attic and things like that, giving them a bed, giving them food, giving them water, risk life and limb, So basically, as I said, she knew, but we don't know much about her early life when she was very, very young. Obviously, can't tell you that because I don't really know too much. I don't think she ever really talked about her early life. But yeah, she hoarded the 1916 Rising because we talked about it at school, I think it was, she said. Because she was very young. She must have been very young at the time. When the 1916 Rising happened. She was 24. She was 24 when the War of Independence happened. So, Yeah, that's as much as I know. Anyway. They probably could have, like, if I got some of my aunts and nephews in here, they wouldn't be probably too pleased, but, you know. But so can you making the conclusion there? Because that's all I know. I could get more people in to ask you, but I don't think they'd be too pleased now. Because one of my relations would remember my great grandmother because she died in the 1960s. And she remembers talking to him and saying about how much fear she had in her heart at any moment the Black and Tans could come. I don't think she do, and having to see a woman dying on her bed, giving telling her basically about the last few, like, what she did, you know. Well, yeah, attempted murder, yeah, she did. But it's not the fact that people, the OIC and the Black and Tans were causing chaos around the country. It doesn't matter. Back then, amnesty was granted and all that. But it's not the fact. People were being oppressed. People were being raped. The Black and Tans wet and the raped. I could get my father's side of the family. My father could get a man, remembers a man, and he could get his son. He remembers going to work and seeing the Black and Tans raping women, taking women out of the house and raping them. So I could go and get that young lad and tell him to come on, and he tell you a thing or two. So please explain that. Because he wouldn't be too pleased now, because it seems like you're saying the British were basically attacking our women and children. So please elaborate your story. Because we have there was war crimes on both sides. There was crimes committed on both sides. We will admit that. But the Black and Tans took it a bit too far. Oh, I know the OIC, but I'm saying about the Black and Tans. So you're completely annihilating the Black and Tans, saying, it was the Black and Tans. The OIC didn't have anything to do with it. Again, the OIC were holding British power in Ireland. So, but this is not the point. You're trying to elude the point. You're trying to get away from the answer. I want just a yes or no. I give you the separate. Just remind yourself. And I've asked them one question. I usually don't ask that many questions of you. I'm sure you know, Sean. I only asked you about 2 or 3 questions, probably not the time you were here. I think I asked you once before what you worked at, and you said a political advisor. Yeah. I think the one time I asked you, are you ready for Christmas? And I think you said yes, I am. And that was fine, I think that's, and there was probably one more time too. I remember something else, I can't remember. When were the Black and Tans? I think it was the 1923, wasn't it? No, it was not 1923, sorry, that's after the, I'm getting all confused now. No, it was 1921, it was just after, because the people of the Black and Tans were the people who fought in the First World War. And they were obviously mentally damaged and things like that. And they were sent over to Ireland to restore order. Or so Winston Churchill thought. So it was about 1921, or so, just 1920, 1921, something like that. Between them. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to get an answer to Sean, so I think we leave it there. Because you told the answer, I think you're just refusing to answer it. So I take it that the sacrifice was in vain. So that's okay. I know that for before, I know that for again. But yeah, we move on from that, okay. So that was a big debate over it, but anyway. It's well, as I say, democracy, it's healthy to debate. But there's some things, that you have to admire some people's bravery. And that's all I was looking for, but anyway, so, Tony, you always love you. Hello, Jason, sorry, I don't think I said hello to you, sorry, we're too busy debating. How are you today? Tony, why are you always with the crying faces, laughing faces, and all that? Getting hypocritical. Well, we leave it there. We won't discuss it anymore. We leave it there. We leave it there. We pretend it never happened, Sean. Okay. We move on because, as you say, you don't want to discuss it anymore. Oh, I know, but I would like to know if you were going to say about your father. Did he resign from the OIC when he seen the atrocities the British committed in Ireland? Did he say, "I'm not going to tolerate this," and resign and said, "Fuck you, so I'm resigning"? Just answer me that. It's no point saying, you have to give me context. As you said, I need context. What did they do in the times of the War of Independence? Did they say the British should not be doing that? If he did do that, I'd be saying he's a brave man. They say, I give up my job because I want Ireland to be free and I want these people to stop being tortured. So, So give me a bit of context. But that's the last thing I say in it. If you give me context, that's the last thing I say in it. But I would go on the assumption that your father was a brave man and he did not. I was not, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I go on the assumption, I give you this, I think he done his duty. He done his duty to the OIC, he done his duty to the Crown. And that's what I say. I don't assume, I assume he was a good officer of the OIC. And that's all I say. And I think that's reasonable enough. I think he done his duty and he was fair. And that's all I say. I don't know all the context behind it, but I say he done his duty. And that's all we say. So is that reasonable enough? I think he's done his duty. Which I don't doubt he didn't do his duty, and he wasn't fair. He was fair, and he was reasonable with people. But yeah, I will say that. I give you that. How does that sound, Sean? Like, I'm giving you my honest opinion there. I think he was reasonable and fair. I don't know everything about him, but I say he was reasonable and fair. But there was people in the OIC in the black and tans that wouldn't reasonable and fair. But I say that about your great grandfather, that I do think he was reasonable and fair. Is that fair enough? No. I know, but so yeah, we move on. We move on because it's no point really arguing about it and things like that. Because you always jump in the I'm talking about something and you always jump the gun. But anyway, well, other than session boxing now, yeah, boxing now. Geez, no boxing now. We both have any boxing, but anyway. But we talk about something else. What else? What else? I was talking about the ladies' loads, and I was talking about not lady loads. They were down in Drogheda, yeah. But then Navan Hospital. So it's tower they're going to close. Well, basically close half of Navan down and going to send people to Drogheda. It just doesn't make any sense. Excuse me, as I said earlier on, it doesn't make any sense. But that's the government for you. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, what was there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember now. What else? Oh yeah, the 83 million. Oh, I know, but I was just presuming. As I said, I presume he done his duty and things like that. You know. But we move on, Sean. We pretend it never happened. So how is your work going anyway as a political advisor? Is it going well? Like, do you actually have to work Saturdays and Sundays? You might be asking that question. Like, just a random question. But do you have to work Saturdays and Sundays? Just randomly. Sorry, just get a window. Because imagine if you had to work Saturdays and Sundays, it'd be an awful kind of job, wouldn't it? Oh, the Cadbury's box. Yeah, the Cadbury's box supposedly is getting smaller and all that crap. But see, it's all kind of money rackets nowadays. Okay, that's totally fine. As I say, Sean, as soon as you say that, I won't ask you again. That's okay. Yeah, may rest in peace, Tony, of course. There's a random hour on my screen. There's a random hour on my computer. There's an hour. The out hours emissions. The out hours emissions. This is millions to one. Anyway, it's good to have a healthy debate. We know these politicians are one away if they see the debate. Millions to one. Messi's on fire. But yeah, but I say Messi's seen better days now. He's getting old now. He's getting old. He's not as good as he used to be. But I say he's still very good. He's better than me now. I say that for a fact. But anyway, I think I will go now, Anna. Because I probably will go to watch the Twitch stream. The Twitch stream is live. So yeah, anything else before we go? Anyway, anyway, Sean, no offense on anything there. Sean Donovan, no offense. It's water on the bridge, okay? It's water on the bridge. It was a political debate, and that's all it was. Never knew. Yeah, but I'm just saying about the fact. But yeah, okay, that's, yeah, as I say, I won't ask you again about it, but that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay. So, we leave it there. So, no offense. It was water on the bridge, and we forget about it that happened, Sean. And we move on from there. How about that's reasonable. We had a debate. We both sides had a debate and had a fair say in each. You express your view. I express my view. I think it was a fair debate. Let's be fair on different things. I might not have agreed with you. You might not have agreed with me. But at least we debated fairly. We didn't use threats or anything like that. So I think that was reasonable enough. What game playing later? I might not go live later. We'll see. We see. We're not take. We see. Sorry, think. But anyway, so we'll probably do a Christmas stream next week, next Friday, next Saturday, or something like that. What day do you actually ask here? It's only 3 people. I should ask that one. I think I was going to ask this other one. What day do you take? Friday, Saturday? What do you take next week? Or Sunday, it's up to people, whatever people take. Probably it'll be later on now in the evening, about 9 o'clock or something like that in the evening. What do we take? What are we taking? Just before I go, just so I know, I have an idea of what I have it on. So yeah, we give out 350s. Probably be through PayPal, just to say, to people. No, not a Christmas dinner, but yeah, we just give out 150 euro, and that's really all we have in the treasury for. So I think that's good enough. What does everybody take? What do you think? Just to have it done with before Christmas, I know. What do we take? I just need to have an idea what day. Like if people say Saturday and Sunday, we work it out. Geez, everybody's talking about Guinness and stuff like that. It's like talking to the wall. It's like talking to number 40 here. Change the controller. What? Come again? No, but come again, Governor. But yeah, no. But what do we take? Well, I just need an answer. What do we take? Just as like a journalist now. I need an answer. You must tell me where he lives. But I don't know. It didn't happen. But I could just see me work in the back one. Hello, Kian. Good to see you. So nobody's gonna answer me. That's everybody's like, fucking Adrian, he's a cunt. I'm not answering. Excuse me, sorry, something. But yeah, what are we taking? We're taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Christmas. When do you want to see this? You must inquire the situation. Millions to one. We're going to do the Christmas stream here, the Christmas special, basically. So either next Friday or next Saturday or next Sunday. No, kind of what people. It's not really up for me. It's kind of up to people what they think. Because we have the Christmas music playing and all that stuff. So today we're not doing it today now. It can't be what I had to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's my offer. What's your favorite food and nostalgia for sweet? I like the what they call. What do you call the roses? I like the roses sweets now on Christmas. I still like them. I'm only about 10 years ago. 10 years. You fucking calling me old. It's great for sure. But no, I still like the roses sweets now. Like if you got, I get a few boxes of roses for Christmas, and I'll be happy enough with it. But yeah, that's me. I like a bit of turkey now on the Christmas. It's always nostalgia there, having to get the turkey out and things like that. Quality street roses, yeah, exactly them ones, yes. But yeah, but anyway, you interrupt them. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. And not really anything else. Like the sweets, I always usually have them because the roses always at Christmas, so they kind of I'm very nostalgic about them because I had them as a child too, when I was younger. Used to get them as a gift and all that. But anyway, so what day are we taking? We should probably do a poll. Democracy, remember. It's a threat to our democracy. Get proof through the light that a flag still there. Oh no, don't stop. No, please don't hear myself. I sound dumb enough already. Cadbury biscuits. Yeah, I had them a few times. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they're not bad. Not the worst thing. There's one thing I had at Christmas. There's one thing yolk to get at Christmas. One ting yolk. One ting yolk, okay? Go into the shop and be asked for one ting yolk. I'm going to go in tomorrow on camera and I'm going to ask the shopkeeper, can I have a one ting yolk? Can I have a one ting yolk? Imagine what the face they give me if I ask for one ting yolk. Like, imagine that. Like, imagine if I actually went to a shop and said, I want a one ting yolk. Like a one ting yolk. I want and the thickest Calvin accent ever. I want another cow. That's fucking I don't know what kind of accent, but a thick Calvin accent. Just going I want a one ting yolk. And you have a 110 yoke there, and how much is that now? And look at, and yes, Christ, I won't have money for the car and all that on it. But the one thing, I want a 110 yoke, and it has to be about €5. And if it's not about €5, I'm not paying the money for it, and that's the end of it. And I said, look at, they can go to the garage if they want to go to the garage. And look at, I'm not paying more than €5 for it. And if anybody doesn't like the thing, I go roll my head on anybody else. I don't know what kind of accent that was. But a 110 yoke, go into your shop tomorrow and ask for a 110 yoke and said that Adrian Hogan said that, and it's going to be the most popular thing in Ireland. It's the new sweets on the street. It's the 110 yoke, and it's from Cavan. And sure, look at you, when you get things from Cavan, you know it's going to be good. I don't know why I came out with that. So sometimes it's the Chinese special forces, isn't it? It's a big conspiracy. They're trying to take over the thing. One day, go into the shopkeeper, hello, how are you doing? You have a 110 yoke here. It is the man Adrian Hogan on the YouTube said that I go to I get a 110 yoke here. And do you have any there now in shock? I Jesus, no you don't. I'd know. Cavan English, I Jesus, Cavan, and I don't know, Cavanism. But anyway, guys, imagine if somebody did and they go in and they say, well, 110 yoke. You're going to wake up your if I wake up, everybody can tell them about the 110 yoke. That's the best part of it. Everybody asked me what the 110 yoke is, and everybody be all amazed. OT and everybody be down from Dublin, and they be all taking videos. Oh, the 110 yoke is the premiere of the new suite, the 110 yoke. And Leo Frank and me whole mountain will come down, and they'll be all fucking delighted. They'll be like, Adrian's giving us all the business. We're getting loads of tax. The government are going to take all the tax off them and all that. I said, Jesus, the revenue is going to be delighted. They'll be all delighted. Wait till you see. I don't know. The 110 yoke. Okay. So that's the thing we're going to ask for Christmas. A 110 yoke. Ask Sapti for a 110 yoke. I don't know. A 110 yoke. I've never seen the like of it. A 110 yoke. Again, I put that on the Christmas list. I have to buy a 110 yoke. I don't know what to make now. What kind of bullshit I came up with? A 110 yoke. A 110 yoke. You got the cat view. Aye. But yeah, that'd be amazing now. So if I actually went in tomorrow and be like, I want a 110 yoke. And then the guards will come because they think you're saying something offensive to them. And the guards will come and be like to the guards, I want a 110 yoke, and they wouldn't give me the 110 yoke. And you look, I had the money there for it and all that. And you look, they're not good enough Cavan people's money. They want the bankers' money. They're not good enough for it. Not good enough. The Cavan people's money not good enough for them. But yeah, going back to the thing before the 110 yoke. Imagine going back to the time before the 110 yoke. You couldn't imagine it. You couldn't imagine it. But yeah, what was I going to say? So what day should we do the Christmas thing on? What day? Somebody asked me before I get the 110 yoke out and you. No, before I buy the 110 yoke and they'd be war. But it's the crown jewel. It's the crown jewel of Ireland. The 110 yoke. Where's the mods? I think they probably lost the will. We're going to do a special thing showing off the 110 yoke. It's going to be the world premiere. There's going to be now fucking 90 million people in here. Elon Musk himself is coming in to talk to us. Fucking, I don't know, Michael D. Higgins is coming to give us, I don't fucking know, $500,000 quid. But sure, look at it would be our business. I know, but this Christmas thing, where we're doing a Christmas special here. This is millions to one. I will be Ken for Christmas party with a fortune Christmas party. I'm putting Maggie Higgins poetry reading. Aye, indeed. And even the Finnish Prime Minister's coming too, so our business. Nice. No, stop, please. No, I gotta get hold of Beautiful for that last statement there. You seem nothing. You hold nothing. But then what day? Fucking day. I meant to do a poem. I'm sitting here fucking giving out shit. I wrote to a poem. Engage with your audience. Start up. Start. Oh no, fuck. Me. I don't want a Q&A. What am I asking about a Q&A? I don't want a fucking Q&A. Fuck you. I pressed the Q&A. Oh no, stop please. Help, save me. Bitch of a thing. Excuse me, I'm going to throw the computer out the window. Please save me. Oh, I'm going to get Dogs Abuse over something else. There's another yoke that's coming soon to a theatre near you. And it's coming between the 16th to the 15th. So. What was I going to say? I have a Friday. I know I'm dyslexic, so don't kill me. Saturday. So this spelling is probably absolutely fucking awful. So yeah, there you go. We asked. Voting time, vote all. Get the bell. Where's the fucking bell? Do I have a bell here? Where's the fucking bell? Oh fucking right in the gap. Oh no! I used to have a bell. Where the fuck is the bell? I'm such a bell end. Did I not have a bell? Am I that dumb? I can't fucking see it. Ooh. If I had a brain, I'd be doing this. I wouldn't mind, but I was looking at it one day. One day, someday, where the fuck is it? Oh! Do you remember when we, I don't know if anybody remembers, when we were a child, when I was young, we used to have a bell when we were at school, primary school particularly. When we were younger, they tell us when break was over. Now that's not today or yesterday. Where the fuck is it? I don't know. We can't do folk talk. Listen, Adam. That's fake news. 50-50, only two votes. This is democracy. This is a disgrace to democracy. 50-50. You were only a child 10 years ago. I know, but do you remember when you were young, now back in the day, Sean, about 9 years ago, 100 years ago, sorry. Do you not remember them used to having to go around with the bell and say when lunchtime was over? Now, I know that's back in the 1900s for you. 1902 or something like that. I know even the Queen Victoria, actually no, Queen Victoria died in the 1901. Well, Queen Victoria is just dead, how about that? Doesn't make any sense. That was eons ago. Kingdoms have risen and fallen since then. Oh, Friday seems to be winning. Joe Biden. What kind of face is that now? Look out for the Finnish sniper, Adam. The Finnish sniper might be around. Sniper monkey. Sniper monkey. So yeah, if we get one more vote, I'll be happy enough, just to see. So if anybody here hasn't voted yet, please do vote. Because then we can say the majority rules. I still don't have my fucking bell, which I don't know where the fucking bell is. If I wanted the bell, it wouldn't be here. Hold up. I have to buy a bell. No, it was somewhere here, but I can't remember. Lunchtime and then the beginning. I used to have to do that sometimes. I used to go around with the bell and ring the fucking bell. Nowadays it's all automatic. When we were in secondary school, it was all automatic. Oh! Hear he. The voting is now continued. Hear he. Hear he. Anybody who doesn't vote is going to be killed. I'm only joking. Hear he, hear he. Ho, ho, ho. I'm just going to continue to do this until somebody votes. Until I get one more vote. How about that? I'm going to do it right up to the mic. No, we don't want that, do we? Can snipe me any day. For Santa. Yeah, for Santa. Yeah, fucking looking for Santa 2000. Yeah, I knew I seen it somewhere. I'm just that dopey I didn't look at the right place. It's like an old telegram. I should have done that at the beginning of the vote. Right, who is anybody else going to vote? TJ had no watch. The miserable fucker. He wouldn't buy a watch. The useless fucker. Mean. He's face mean. You talk about Calvin people being mean. He must be no mean. Must be fucking face mean. But you could have just. Well, you actually, yeah. Like, he wouldn't have known. Yeah, I remember somebody doing that one time to Wagant about 10 minutes early. And we got out. But they didn't know until afterwards. And we still got it because the teachers had gone. They were stupid. They knew nothing. They knew nothing about nothing. So yeah, Friday looks like it is. Friday. That's it, everybody. Friday. Everybody's happy enough for Friday. This is the democracy. But even one person voted for Sunday. They'd be like, this is not democracy. There's no debating here. We'll give it another minute. Now I have my bell, I can fucking wing my bell anytime. Put a thumbtack on the cheat. I don't think we ever done that. No, I don't do. Actually, no. Yeah, there used to be a quiz there when I was in fourth year in school. People go around on thumbtacks and stab people in the side. That was the quiz. Let's try Kitchen. How about no? A bit one was here yesterday. But Mark, I don't know, Mark's quite busy. He has a Twitch channel, Tony, if you ever want to watch him. It's called Mark Butler on Twitch. It's Twitch streams. Do give him a sub over there on Twitch if you have Twitch. I don't know if you have Twitch. Grant Torino is over there too. Yeah, I think nobody else is on Twitch. Not many people on Twitch around already. Cavendish. You know what time it is. He. We're having the Christmas stream on Friday. He. I always wanted to do that. He. We're having our Christmas stream Friday. Ho, ho, ho. Stop. Please, stop. Freeze the teacher's chalk. That's before the interactive boards out. I remember one of us actually hacked interactive board. It wouldn't turn on. It's all dangerous. I have to keep you around nets now. Because you could kill me with a thumbtack or something. By bombing his house. MI6, MI5, please. Sinn Féin, anybody Sinn Féin? I'm not on Twitch anymore. What happened to your Twitch? Tell us. You're watching too many of them fucking hot tub streams, Tony. That's a disgraceful thing. Watching all these hot tub streamers. Disgraceful. Disgusting stuff. You've been caught in 4K, Tony, now you've been exposed. Photo activity, yeah, apart from, yeah, but so says your man. We're all very violent people, but at any moment we could take out a gun and shoot somebody. Yay. Not yay. No, not yay. No, stop. Please, kill me. No, don't. Don't ban me, please. Inciting violence, inciting violence. In the game, sorry, in the game, sorry, in the game, in the game. Shooting somebody in the game. I don't think we've done many sticky bombs, GTA 5. In the game, in the game, in the game, in the game, YouTube, in the game. In the game, Benner. Bye bye, Bell. Oh, so I'm gonna go now in a few minutes because I said it was gonna go about an hour ago, and it's still at me. But yeah, I'm gonna have a nice new top on the 15th, and this thing is actually coming Monday, either Monday or Wednesday for behind here. So we're gonna be living the life of the old ones. What are you saying, Santa? What do you accuse me of, Adam? Explain yourself. Disgraceful stuff. You accuse me of this. Coca-Cola, where do you see Coke? Oh, the Coke, yeah, the Coke. Gaudi, it's just Coke, yeah. Not that. In the game, gals, in the game. In the game, MI5, MI6. In the game. Coca-Cola. Yes. No, but I'm just in better form now. No, it's anymore. In the game. But yeah, have a guess. Here, I'll give you this. Have a guess and see what's my top. What is it going to be? Another House of Iron 4 top? Or what is it going to be? Because remember, I got a House of Iron 4 top. I didn't wear it now because it's too warm to wear it. Subscribes to Christmas Party in Leitrim. Well, there's no such thing as Christmas in Leitrim. Because Leitrim doesn't exist, so there's no such thing as a Leitrim Christmas party. See my logic? How can there be a Christmas party when Leitrim doesn't exist? Think about that for a second, Adam. You have to question some of these things. Yep, I'm all out. But yeah, have a guess. Somebody have a guess. Have a guess. Yeah, you can only have 2 guesses. How bad? What biscuits? What? Tony's giving us a whole paragraph on biscuits. Should work in the biscuit factory, Tony. Probably does. He's probably a spokesman for these biscuits. He's paid by Big Biscuit. I knew it. I always knew it, Tony. You're paid by Big Biscuit. He's paid by Big Biscuit. I told you. I tell you, Sean. He's paid by Big Biscuit. He's out to be a Big Biscuit promoter. I always knew he was in the pockets of big business. Big business. Big business. Big Biscuit. I always knew it. I always knew them biscuit companies were out to propagandize their products in some foreseeable fact. See, he's at it again. He's paid by Big Biscuit. I work for Fine Gael, an election organizer. What? I'm sorry, come again? Did you say you were from Wicklow? Ah, yeah. So that fucking Paul Keogh fucker is down there. Oh, he's in, where is he? Not Wexford, Waterford, or he's Wicklow, isn't he? Wicklow, Wexford, is he? Can't remember where Wicklow is. Fucking, isn't it? I should know because I walked out. I can't remember. I think it is. Yeah, but it's that Paul Keogh fella down there. I was in Wicklow and Waterford. He's down there somewhere. Fucking mixing up. Yeah, Paul Hughes and West. Never mind. But you have Simon Howes and all that. Simon Howes. Yeah, exactly. Oh! You just give me, yeah, you just it's like such a great. But Cavan Institute are getting a 40 million new facility in the town there. It's going to accommodate over 100 students, 1,000 students, 100,000 students, 1,000 students for college campuses. No. 100,000 students are going to be living in Cavan. You heard it here first. My head. My eye doctor, please. You heard it here first. Oh yeah, I finished the poem. Yeah, fucking man, dopey. So yeah, so next Friday at around probably 8 or 9, give or take. I'm just telling you now. Friday around 8 or 9, definitely. So we'll be back early to do it. If not 8, it'll be 9. I don't know. Most likely probably 9. Just to get things set up and all that. Yeah, so yeah, give or take. But nobody guessed about my new top that's coming. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I always knew nobody cared. I'm so lonely. I have nobody. No, I'm not going to confirm or deny that statement. No. But it could be a hot surviving four top. Think of that. But it could it? But what it could it? What is it? What? Find out more. Would it actually be here in time for that thing? It wouldn't be. What a pity. Wait, hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the hose, 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 hose the hose. Oh Jesus Christ, Christ! Oh no, oh no! What's this? Ooh, what's this? Hold the phone, lads. Where am I? Oh, so it could come on the 16th, which is next Friday. So yeah, we might have the next Friday. There's a Christmas party. Yeah. We get what the fuck is that, Adam? We have to. That's TOS Thomas of Service. I did get set. Did I show you my into thing? They sent me my into yoke. Cause see, I tell you the story. I don't know. I told you before about episode. But into one of the into the young youth members of into was like, "Would you like to buy our reflector jacket off into?" And I was like, oh, "Okay, fair enough." And I was like, "Fair enough." And then so I bought it basically off them. You should buy it and put it in the museum. What? Who's whinging about it? Adam's giving out to me on Twitter. Oh no, it's me. I'm giving out to myself. He just liked the tweet for me. I thought he was giving out to me about something. I thought he was accusing me of something. Sorry, Adam. I accused you in the wrong. Well, my mistake. Oh. There you go. You got me to thing in there. There you go. Also, they sent me free stuff. Think about this for a second. Free. I got a nice free pen. That's not all. Look at. That's you know when you get free stuff at Cal, you're speaking the Cal man's language. You're speaking when you get free stuff off somebody. You're speaking free. You're speaking Cal people's language. Like look, it's got a free pen, got a free key ring, and then I got a free magnet. And look at this. They both go together. That's the best part. I actually was so surprised when I seen that. So look at that. Free things. A cabin man getting free things. The life of the O'Reillys. And they say cabin people are oppressed. Some people say cabin people are oppressed and things like that. We're living the life of the O'Reillys. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to you too for obviously sending it to me and things like that. So appreciate it. To the people, very kind too. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I actually got a personal email from them, for the people over there, from the people over it. And basically, they knew who I am. Basically, that's basically what I'm saying. But yeah, basically I got compliments, basically, about it. And apparently I'm holding very high regard for some people in it. So that was very nice. So yeah, I'm tricking around with this pen. That's the pen I'm tricking around with at the moment. Also not sponsored. Not sponsored. No, not sponsored. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Not in the pocket of anybody. On the 24th, this month, are you talking about this month? Tony, are you talking about next month? I'm just going to try and hide that. You see nothing. But what do we think of that now? But yeah, I'm going to go now in a second because I said I was going to go about 2 hours ago. Didn't go. But so, Tony, give me, what are you saying about the 24th? Come on, speak up, lad. Apparently so, yeah. Like, I literally got a post in the email from them. Like, it wasn't just one of your standard emails, it was actually a post in the email. Well, what's happened to the 24th, Tony? Give us, tell us. Will you tell us when you tell us what the ref was say nothing now till you hear more? Tell us. Oh, Johnny, please tell us when the ref was kicked. Ever hear that song? Oh, you tell us when you tell us the ref was kicked. Nothing now till you hear more. Tell us when the ref was kicked. Pog. Ah, the boys in blue, that's good. The boys in blue, that's good. Blue. Oh no, the chair's gone off. What is on the 24th? Somebody please tell me. Tell me, please tell me. See, who's Santa? Oh, I thought you said Sienna. I was like, who the fuck is Sienna? I was going to say, what is Sienna? Who's Sienna? Drop Sienna's OnlyFans. What? Oh, you mean the 24th? Well, I was going to be like, who the fuck are you talking about Sienna? I was going to be like, Sienna who? What are you talking about Sienna? Sienna. But yeah, what's happened to 24? Tell us, Tony. Tell us. You tell us. So tell us, so we won't get to sleep tonight worrying about it. Like, funny enough, I used to have a person who used to go to my school was called Sienna too. So I was going to say I don't know a Sienna, but I actually do know a Sienna. Oh, the trail. No, you're wrong. Sure, I'm making assumptions. Oh, the no, a bit. Yeah, I'm a small bit younger than that now. Tony. So Tony. Get that thing. Yeah, what that thing? Can you give me a thing? That what did I say? I can't remember now what I said. Because I said so stupid thing out about. Like, you have to clip that. Remember that now. Clip that and remember. Save it to the archives. That thing. Whatever I said. I can't remember exactly what I said. But you can see, I say something stupid that I can't remember. That dopey. There's a chart this here. Hello again. At the munchies. Yeah, but I think we'll tip on now. Just charge this. Get the charger. Where's my phone? But I think we'll tip on now. So anything else before we go? Any other things? Comments to make or anything? I know everyone was a bit. It was a bit damp off the stream, I suppose, with stuff going on. I do apologise for that. We probably should have done more to kind of stop it. But I didn't want to interfere too much with it. Because yourself, politics, people can get very angry very quickly, and threats to fly and things to fly around. But obviously condemn violence, obviously, against anybody, or threats of any kind. Just to let them know, and obviously we won't tolerate it anymore now. Unless it's said literally in the heat of something, and it's literally in the apologies afterward. Maybe if I come back later on, maybe. So I take it nothing else. Nobody has NDS. But yeah, I do apologise for earlier on now. Probably should have done a bit more with it. So as I say, what's in the past is in the past. We build a bridge over it. It is Christmas, so we build a bridge over it. And we learn from our mistakes. I think that's reasonable enough. But yeah, so anything, it's just before we go, because somebody will say, I have one more thing to say, Adrian, and then they'll be given out to me saying, oh, you ended the stream before I could say what I wanted to say. Because that's what happened many times before. People were like, I wanted to say this before you went, and da. So, now's your chance. I'm giving people plenty of opportunity here to give their last say of the night. Well, not tonight. I'll probably be back later on. Maybe, possibly. Anyway, I think then we tip on. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. As I say earlier on, I apologise for that. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. And make sure you go into your shop and ask for that thing tomorrow. That yoke, or that thing. Very special present to have at Christmas. So make sure you buy it. It's about to buy you to nothing for the win. Thank you.